Another is the batch rod, which is the service life setting of the drill bit. Drill usage restriction settings. Because the drill bit has a service life, when it reaches something, it will be unusable. Suppose the lifespan of this drill is 1000 cycles. When the drill bit is used more than 1000 times, the machine cannot operate, and we need to modify the parameters here. Upon reaching 1000 uses, you need to check whether the drill bit is still fit for use. If it is, please update this parameter. When we set the parameters and reach the limit, the machine will sound an alarm. We need to check. If the quality of the drill you purchased is very good, you can set this parameter to a higher value. This is the meaning of a reminder to let you check whether the drill is worn and can continue to be used. If the drill is not worn and can continue to be used, you set the parameter value higher. Menu 2, we mainly use the service life settings of the drill bits. Then the second one starts from cursor, and these two functions are often used. Start this function from the cursor, be sure to find the position of the corresponding screw hole, don't find the wrong object. We must locate the coordinate position of the unassembled screw and start from the settings at the cursor. If you do not find the corresponding screw coordinates, but directly press from the cursor, it is very likely that there will be a bump problem. If you want to try this function and understand the meaning, you can find a product without assembly screws and test this function. This is menu 2, two commonly used functions. There is a function in menu 3, which is about the control of this cylinder. This cylinder, it's sticking out now. This cylinder does not stick out. For example, I just reset it. You see, the cylinder is now not clamped. Our programming is to clamp this cylinder to the product. If the cylinder does not clamp the product, it is shaking. If the product is not clamped, there is a problem with the production process. I need to find page 2, number 7 in menu 3. Now is the first page, then we press the next page. Find the 7th function on page 2. View and control. Extended output. Then press OK. In general output, 0 to 16 items. The cursor is now in the first position. How do we move from the first position to the 5th? Then we press the down button. After moving to the 5th, then we enter 1 directly, and the cylinder clamps. This is the clamping action that controls the cylinder. Then I press 0 to release. Press 1 to clamp it, and press 0 to release it. 0 is equivalent to loosening. Press 1 and let the cylinder clamp the product. The process must be made when the product is clamped. Output signal. This first switch controls the cylinder up and down. Let's demonstrate. That's the drill going up and down. You see the drill going up and down. This is the first function control. This is the switch control setting of serial number 1. If you need to rotate the drill bits, we can use this switch on the machine. This button, you press this switch and the drill bit rotates. This is the rotation test of the motor. If an alarm occurs when we assemble the screws normally, check if there are any screws. After we have dealt with the exception, we can directly press the motor to test, and the machine will continue to work. Assuming there is no screw alarm, we can press this switch. It will continue to start. If the machine reports abnormal screw sliding teeth, we need to take out the screws and test them according to the motor. If the machine reports that the screw is slippery, but the screw has been assembled, we cannot press the motor test button, but only the start button of the machine. Now that this LED module product has been clamped, we will withdraw. In the menu 3 options, this function is used more often. Other functions are not commonly used. Then menu 4. How to open the settings of our menu 4. We need to press the stop button first, and then press menu 1, which is how to open menu 4. The stop button in menu 1 open menu 4. In the menu 4 interface, we often need to use the 4 options on page 1. We don't need to use the previous functions. The 4th is the relevant electric batch parameters. Assemble the screws in depth mode. We need to get in here. Set the batch torque. Opens the first function. In this menu, there is a torque mode and depth mode option, so this is torque mode. This is followed by a deep mode. If we use depth mode, we will choose 1, and if we need torque mode, we will enter 0. 0 represents torque mode and 1 represents depth mode. Our current product uses deep mode, so be sure to enter 1. If in deep mode, the machine is not checked for torque determination and limiting functions. This means that in deep mode, it will not detect the current torque in real time. Suppose we choose torque mode, it is not detected in depth. Our machine uses the cylinder up and down to adjust the sensing height of the limit to set the Z-axis locking screw. This is the choice of usage mode when assembling the screws. If we just remove the screws, we don't need to set these parameters. The machine system has default parameters. These 2 modes are only used when assembling the screws, and there is no need to choose to remove the screws. Now our product uses deep mode, so enter 1. When making a program, we first need to check which way this pattern is used. In deep mode, this must be selected at 1. In this menu, other parameters must not be modified. It is forbidden to modify these parameters, we can just select the mode. In this menu, we only select torque mode or depth mode. Other parameters are prohibited from being modified. Exit this menu. Items 2, 3, and 4 do not require configuration. Serial numbers 5 and 6 do not need to be set either. The functions we need to use are number 1 and number 7. The 7th one means that if we want to adjust the torque parameters inside, we can choose 7. Option 7. There's a whole menu of options. If we want to adjust the torque of the tightening screw, we need to turn on the function of the smart electric batch. Input 1 means on, 0 means off, and the parameters can only be adjusted in the on state. Let's assume a setting of 0 and see if we can adjust the torque parameters. You see, now we're going to go into the 4th one to adjust the torque. You see, it cannot be set. The current batch function is not turned on, so when we adjust the torque, we need to choose 1. Enter 1 to turn on. Then open. Then we press 4 again. We are coming in here. Then you can set the torque and refer to these. When setting the torque parameters, do not adjust the torque to the maximum at the beginning, but gradually increase the torque from a small size. Small screw, our torque parameter doesn't need to be so big. Probably around 0.06 or 0.07, if not enough gradually increase. The M1.7 screw needs to increase the torque, then other speed parameters cannot be debugged, we only debug this torque parameter. After the torque parameters are set, we click OK. After confirming, it's fine. The torque parameter of this electric batch is set here. Then after these torque parameters are set, we need to power off the machine. Let the machine discharge to 0 and record the current torque parameters. Only when the parameters of the electric batch torque are set, power failure is required. Other parameter settings do not require power failure. After the machine is powered off, wait more than 30 seconds to restart it. Don't turn it on immediately after turning off the power, it doesn't work. When switching the machine from deep mode to torque mode, you must turn off the power and wait for 30 seconds or 1 minute for the change to take effect. Click Reset to disarm the alarm. Then set the cylinder clamping product. If you have any questions, please contact us at jaimes.com or jaimes.net. We found the introduction just now. We enter the torque parameter setting interface. Because it was in depth mode before, to switch the torque mode, you need to check whether any parameters have been written. Let's check the torque parameters before shutting down. Assuming 0.6 is set, after booting, check whether the 0.6 torque parameter is saved. Only when switching torque mode from depth mode does the machine need to be powered off. Suppose we switch from torsion mode to depth mode. The smart batch needs to be turned off. Enter 0 for this smart batch parameter. Select 0 means to switch to depth mode. Torque mode must be selected one to activate. Because the depth mode is controlled by the limit sensor to tighten the depth of the screw. So in deep mode, we don't need to start the smart batch. This is a limit sensor. We need to adjust the tightening depth controlled by the telescopic rod below. If torque mode is used, this smart elevator must be turned on to be effective. Under what circumstances do you use torque? If the size of the screw is greater than M1.6, it is recommended to use the torsion mode. If the size of the screw is around M1.0, the depth mode is used. You can also choose torque mode or depth mode to try. Whichever is best, choose which. If the torque mode is used, we need to check whether the height of the screws after assembly meets the requirements. This is the relevant parameter setting of the intelligent electric batch. There is another function that we need to use frequently. The fourth option on page 2 of menu 4. CCD camera point function settings. Whether to choose the CCD camera as the reference position or the working head nozzle as the reference position. Suppose we use the current position of the camera or the current position of the nozzle to record the coordinates when looking for the screw hole coordinates. Contact us jaimes.com.